It's Monday. You're live on the AM show on Joy News. Let's get into the stories making the waves and have been captured in the various newspapers. My name is Sweetie Abochi. Take a seat. And my guest this morning is Kofi Akpalu, the leader of the Liberal Party of Ghana, and Nanaya Achepem Jantua, former General Secretary of the CPP. Nanaya, how are you doing this morning? Kofi Akpalu.
Yes, my dear.
How is it going at your party? The Liberal LPG. How is it going?
Oh, it's going very, very well.
Have you filed your nomination yet?
We'll file this morning, 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah. I think MPP will do theirs at 9.
In fact, all of them, the NDC and the MPP will be filing this morning. I mean, today, Monday.
NDC will do 2 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. You have the itinerary.
Yeah.
No, this time they called us and then they asked everybody when you are filing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you are on at 9?
9:30.
Okay.
9 is NPP.
All the very best.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me start with you then, since we are getting into it. What's on your mind, apart from filing your nomination to be president?
On my mind today is to see the young people getting jobs. Yeah, because I think that is the problem here. And some of our leaders are not able to provide the needed jobs to our young men and women. So it's my worry that we create the environment for the young people to be able to break through here in Ghana. We have to create opportunities. We have to turn Ghana into a land of opportunities, whereby a young person can have confidence that, hey, I can make it right here without necessarily traveling or indulging in belting, you know, because at this if you hear the major parties, they are all talking about reduction of betting tax and also
scrapping it.
Yeah, scrapping it, meaning that they can't create the jobs. So they want the young guys to indulge in that, which is strong.
I'm looking forward to seeing your manifesto and how you plan to also create jobs, like you say. We've seen the major, manifestos. We've seen even some of the other parties release their manifesto. When should we expect yours?
I'm inviting you to our manifesto launch. That will be 21st of September at Ola Senior High School in Ho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where we'll be doing it. So we want to see the Joy News there. This time, come and take live coverage.
You speak ever?
I speak small.
You're going to Ola?
Yeah, Ola Senior High School. That's where we are having our lunch.
His name is Apalo and he speaks small ever.
Because I was born and brought up in Kumasi. So definitely the environment where you grew up.
The Echigba. I love Echigbo.
Don't worry, when I get
Nanaya, what's on your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, but thank you for those thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Nanaya.
Good morning and good morning to your viewers. Good morning to yourself. Good morning to my brother here. He's my brother. Yeah, he's not correct.
Because I'm not supporting your party, CPP.
Sweetie, what is on my mind is galamsey. I've had sleepless nights after seeing all the videos and the catfish struggling for their life. I wanted to know which river is that one, but it is something that we have to have a nationalistic view instead of having a partisan view. I was very mortified when I saw the MPP and NDC in Parliament arguing over who did it better, who did the crime better.
Yeah.
And I heard Anodompre saying that
the NDC destroyed more water bodies than they...
It was very heart-wrenching to hear somebody like that speak like that. And it is so sad that this country has come to this point. The most serious one and the most dreadful one is where the river at Shama has entered the sea. And the sea that is supposed to be blue, that we even have a color called sea blue, has become brownish. And then we share borders with other nations, and we are talking about a diplomatic row. Because if this seeps into the portions of the sea on our borders, the Gulf of Guinea, then it means we are in trouble.
And I watched Samson Ladiayenene paint the picture. He did a 3D something, graphic showing us of the current state of our forest reserves and water bodies.
Yes.
And it was a face in palm moment for me.
Yes.
It is bad.
No,
it's terrible.
Bad is,
and it shows
it is just out of this world.
And it turns out that some of these forest reserves are they're part of a commitment that we have made to the world to contribute our forests to the protection of the entire. And we are giving out these places so that they're mining, and they're saying that it's not illegal. So, what is your argument?
How is not illegal? You see, the point is that we spend 10 billion Ghana cedis growing trees. Then we devastate. I mean, look at the irony of it. And we tout ourselves that we have grown a certain number of trees all over the place, and we are destroying what we have. And I said that, you see, when I speak, the people will start saying that, oh, she's speaking for NDC. No, but I'm saying that, granted that when the MPP came to power, and then NDC did it worse, and they came to clear the area and stopped galamsey, and we saw our waters and our rivers blue, wouldn't we congratulate them?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we say that you have done well? That all the things you told us in 2016, that you do it right by Ghanaians, you have done better.
Right.
Because this is one of the things that it should be done right. Because it's about our future, our health.
And not just us alone.
I mean, now our neighbors are going to feel the brunt of our illegality.
Right. Anyway.
And the people who are involved are kingpins. They are people who are big. Because I always say that the gold market out there, international gold market, those young boys sitting down there, they don't have access to the international gold market. Meanwhile, between $6 billion and $22 billion worth of our gold illegally leaves the shores of Ghana. They don't fly. They go through either the ports, air, or seaports.
Yeah.
And who does this transaction? Those who have access to these areas. And it is smuggled. It is done illegally. And nobody is saying anything about it.
Well, now there's a call on the president to
halt. He said you put his presidency down.
Oh, that was some years ago. Maybe he didn't know how devastating or how terrible the situation is now.
Why wouldn't you know? You are the president of the nation. You are the vice president of the nation. You don't know what is going on. Now you have children in those areas. Their limbs are off.
Yeah.
When they are born, their limbs are off.
Yeah. Let's get into the...
Can I buy this? We always look at the galamsey as the only problem. If you're talking about this land degradation and all those kind of stuff, we tend to forget about the fact that the major mining companies are also destroying our lands. The media, just visit those big mining companies and then come off your report. Then you see that we shouldn't attribute everything to these galamseyers. The so-called mining companies, they are destroying everything here.
But I think the emphasis is on the forest reserves and water
bodies
where small mining is taking place.
They are also destroying our forest
Are they doing
reserves.
surface mining? I don't think they are doing surface mining.
Newmont is doing surface mining.
Okay, let's get into the newspapers. I'll start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. On the front page, Imani Lord's Electrochem's Songo concession considers it a game changer for Ghana's salt industry. Asante Hene graces Fetua Fashe as rare historic feat and donates 500,000 Ghana cedis to Ogwaman Education Fund. 10 perish in ghastly crash on Mim-Goso Highway. And on election 2024, Baumia Mahama filed presidential nomination forms today. Let's start from Electrochem and how Imani Africa, Mr. Franklin Kujo, is lauding that Electrochem's Songo concession. I mean, amidst stories about the salt industry facing threats of collapse because we are still importing salt, I think what Electrochem is doing is laudable. So let's get into the story. It's on page 11 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and it reads, Imani Africa, a leading policy think tank, has thrown its weight behind Electrochem Limited's concession over the Songo Lagoon, which marks a pivotal moment for Ghana's salt industry. In an article posted on its website under the headline, Prospects of Ghana's Salt Industry, a pathway adding to extra $1 billion in exchange earnings, the think tank outlined the economic benefits of the salt mining project for the country. And Ghana's salt industry, primarily driven by solar evaporation, has been operating well below its potential, despite the country producing around 250 metric tons of salt annually over the last decade. Exports in 2022 amounted to just 4.36 million Ghana cedis, a mere 0.022% of Ghana's total exports. Electrochem is giving licenses and concessions actually to small groups in the Adang and somewhere in the Songo area to mine salt, and they are sort of commercializing it so that they can package well and export, so that at least we don't have to be importing salt. Imani Africa is saying this is a good thing that Electrochem is doing. Nanaya, what do you say?
Oh, as long as the material, the material or the resources there for us to export.
We do have it.
Yes.
We have the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do we have the sea? Galamsey
everywhere.
And entering it. Very soon we won't even have the salt to.
Right.
But if they are doing it for importation, then what is the structure of Electrochem? Is it a wholly Ghanaian company, or is it a foreign company?
I think we have Ghanaian. It's Ghanaian, but we have some foreign investments over there.
It would have been good for us to know the structure, who owns what, because you see, anytime, that is what we are talking about. Anytime we allow foreigners to come and mine our natural resources, and at the end of the day, they make money out of it, and Ghanaians are left with nothing. It is a good thing, but for me, before I can commend any company, I do want to know the structure, that who owns it and what is the structure like. But any venture,
it's a wholly owned Ghanaian company.
Okay, then
wholly owned Ghanaian company.
That is great. It's a 100% Ghanaian owned. Yes, it's very great, and we commend them for what they have done, and also the kind of the cooperatives that they are putting together for the indigents and other people to also get into some kind of business. And I also encourage young people to also get into it, so that they can get jobs to do. The formal sector is choked. It's not. You see, every time when they finish school, we all wanted to work in the government sector. And sometimes for me, if I look back, I tell my children that I stayed too long in the government sector. Yes, I started when I was very, very young. I finished university and I was wholly young. I mean, immediately I finished, I got a job. So I look back and I say that after GIPC, maybe I should have left. I shouldn't have continued. So I also encourage some of since it's a wholly Ghanaian, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the government should support them. Whatever they need to be supported, they should be supported to do the right thing, to create jobs, and also to mine our natural resource, that is the salt. Yeah. That would also bring some income to us, the nation, and to everybody, and also put our name out there. Yes. They should make it Ghana basalt.
Well. Have we finished buying Ghana rice and Ghana?
But if they start, it will be good.
Well. Mr. Palu.
Yeah, I think I'm in support of this Electrochem's investment. If it's 100% owned by a Ghanaian, I don't have a problem. I don't even care about who that Ghanaian is. So far as it's owned by a Ghanaian,
yeah.
I'm 100% for it. And we have to also look at its other usage, apart from using it for food and whatever. What can we do that we can add value to them, so that other companies can also spring up to also be buying from the company and add value to them. And I believe that will also create jobs, and it will create wealth for our economy.
Okay. So Ghana Liberia Fire Services to enhance fire safety management. And the fire services, yes,
Ghana.
That's why I wanted to get into the story. So the fire services of Ghana and Liberia have affirmed their commitment to sharing ideas and expertise to help advance fire safety management in their respective countries. This, they said, would ensure the safety of lives and promote economic development. And the two agencies affirmed their commitments, with Colonel Bavu Wawusa, Chief Fire Officer of Liberia, paid a courtesy call on the Chief Fire Officer Julius Alab Kure Kwono in Accra yesterday. It took us, 4 days or 5 days to put out that fire at Makola, and we are saying we are committed to doing what again?
Maybe,
I don't
on paper, not in practice.
Reports of even no tenders in certain strategic areas, no access to water or inadequate water. Yes. And we are pledging commitments to who?
Ask Kofi here in the US, if somebody is stuck in a lift, they call the fire people. If you are stuck on the...
Even accident,
they call the fire people.
The high-rise buildings we have, Nana, yes. I don't think that we have enough, what's it called? Ladders that are tall enough to reach those places.
The Zongo lane was 1 floor. They couldn't get the stairs or the flight of stairs to get to the top to quench the fire.
It took 4 days.
It took 4 days, and now the place has collapsed. Unless, of course, somebody is interested in rebuilding that place into something else. And maybe something was orchestrated. Because to me, it does not make sense that the fire service, they were just looking on concern on TV. It was just, they're not on concern, they were perplexed. They didn't know how to quench the fire. And maybe, you see, that is a very strategic area. So somebody maybe has occasion. I don't know, me, I'm just guessing.
And I don't know where you are talking about.
Zongo Lane, Makola.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, that fire, you didn't follow the story?
Hey. No, when did it happen?
Hey, Kofi President.
You want to be president?
Know what your people are doing.
No, when did it happen?
Hey, Your Excellency, this one, you are...
Right. Let's quickly move on.
Last week, Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I was at OT.
Okay. OT, there's television in OT.
Let's move on from this. So, Asantehene Grace's Fatal Affair. Sometimes I think that we are not the target audience of these state institutions, and when they are waxing lyrical about how... like, for instance, the president talks about how we should look within for funds and investments rather than going to external creditors. And we should not, and then fire service saying they're committed to this. You hear? And I'm asking, we here in the country, though, how are you ensuring that these words are reconciled with the actions that we are experiencing here? Because
it is not practical. So fire service, they don't have anything. They are not well resourced. These are just words. And imagine Liberia coming to you. They themselves, where are they standing? She gets me. So
they paid a courtesy call.
This is academic, so let's just treat it as an academic exercise.
Asantehene Grace's Fatal Afashe Festival as a rare historic feat and donate 500,000 to Ogwaman Education Fund. So, Nanaya, it was a rare historic feat as the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II joined the people of Cape Coast to celebrate this year's Fatal Afashe at Cape Coast in the Central Region. And the Asantehene who attended the program by a special invitation from the Omanhin of the Ogwa traditional area was accompanied by a large retinue of chiefs from Asante-Man, marking the 25th anniversary commemoration of the enthronement of Osabarima Kwesi Atta II of the Omanhin of the Ogwa traditional area. I'm just interested in this 500,000 Ghana cedi donation to the education fund. I think it's beautiful, but more often than not, these monies are donated and you don't actually see that they are actually benefiting the intended beneficiaries. It ends up in somebody's pocket, but let's just ensure that the money goes to where it's supposed to go. And it was a beautiful ceremony. I catch excerpts on social media. I don't know if you saw some of it.
No, I wanted to go, but I mean something happened and I couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean it is good. Otumfuo donated 500,000 to the
Ogwaman Educational Fund.
And the Ghana traditional area, they also have an educational fund.
Yeah.
And he donated, and I mean it's good. It's a good initiative. But as I said, it should be used for the intended destiny. But I also want to say that when other chiefs are coming to Ashanti, Otumfuo too has an educational fund. So as it gives, they should also give it to us. You get me?
It's like Ghana president going to America.
Rich, so he doesn't.
No, but you can't say that. I mean, they all have paramountcy.
No.
So I am saying that he's doing great. He's doing good.
Yeah.
No,
but I mean,
Otumfuo doesn't need it.
Who told you?
No, he doesn't need it.
Oh, please.
He doesn't need it from
It's not for him.
It's not for him.
It's an education fund for the people.
Yes, he has an education. Please wait. He has an educational fund.
The educational fund.
Yes.
Otumfuo educational fund doesn't need money from these chiefs too.
What is this chief?
But why would you say he doesn't?
Why he doesn't do this?
He is supposed to help them, okay? So allow the small ones that they have.
Oh, what
let them
is small ones?
to develop their
Okay, Mr.
area.
Palu, let's put a pin in there, because you cannot call any other traditional small.
No, what I'm saying is...
Let me quickly run through the Ghanaian time, the
Just
back page, and I'll come to you. Time to redeem image of the Black Stars, Kotoko and Kerala winless streak, Holy Stars upset hearts. These are just from the world of sports.
I saw some upset hearts.
Where?
On TV, they were not happy.
Can I have?
Okay, Nana, let's get into the New Finder newspaper.
How do you want the front page or
the stories and then one story in there?
Ghana economists' woes persist. This is by Michael Koba, who is with the Sea Energy. Then inflation to end at 20.8% Fitch. Then cocoa, gold, crude oil face mixed fortunes. Federal rate cuts with ease. Pressure on ailing CD.
Which of these stories do you want us to get into?
All of them. They're all talking about the economy. Inflation to end at 20.8% Fitch. You see, from 54% to 20.8%, if they are real figures, fine. But I always say that this one, it doesn't support reality.
How so?
Yes, the data does not support reality. They said that, when I talk about, they said inflation is about gradual increases in prices, even if I take that definition. Do you get me? There is no gradual increases in prices. It's not gradual. There's a whooping increase in prices. And sometimes I wonder what this is, where it's coming from. Because when actually you go to the market to go and buy, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and the person was saying that with 2,000 cedis, she couldn't do everything on her shopping list with a family of 4. 4 children and 2 husband and wife, 6.
With 2,000 Ghana cedis?
Yes, 2,000 Ghana cedis.
Was she looking to shop for a week, a month, a day?
She was looking to shop for a week for the family. And she said she couldn't do all that she was supposed to do. But if inflation is like this, you see, prices that were high in a year ago are higher this year. So how do we reconcile the two? How do we reconcile the two? And it's also tied into Ghana's economic woes. They always tell us that we are turning the corner. Things are getting on right. We are okay. But we are not.
You're saying that although they are calculating these based on the percentage on maybe cost of food items and other things over a period of time, it doesn't actually reflect, well, there is that hike in food prices all over.
When you look into it, the food inflation is always high. Then you look at the food inflation as even they add the food basket, grapes and all that. But when you look, if you are going to break this down, you notice that what is driving it is the food inflation and transportation, which is linked to fuel.
Yeah, everything is connected.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
So these two components are not coming down. So then how do you get this? Maybe I'm not an economist, but it does not make sense because the data does not support reality. Ghana's economic woes, yes, they still persist in spite of everything that they are saying. And as somebody said in the paper, they are saying that maybe debt relief is the way forward. Because if you look at the enormity of our debt,
over 700 billion.
700 billion Ghana cedis is our debt. And we need to know what this money has been used for. Because even if somebody gives you money, it is what you have used the money for that will encourage the person to say that you invested the money very well and become a sunk cost because of maybe A, B, C, D indicators. So I will give it to you. But you see, the time has come for us to even move away from all this money that we go borrowing around. Right. We have cap in hand at borrowing. We need to stop it because the kind of resources that we have, if we tap into it We don't need to go borrowing.
All right.
We've gone for $3 billion from the IMF. Meanwhile, illegal gold that leaves our shores is $6 billion to $22 billion every year.
In summary, the money is here.
Yes, the money
the means
is here.
to make the money is here. But somehow, that's why most of these stalwarts will tell you that it's Ghana's problems is simply a result of failure of leadership.
And mismanagement. Leadership is cause. Every other is the effect of leadership. We have one person sitting here who wants to be a president.
Mr. Palu,
who doesn't know that a building has bent. Your own people.
Mr. Palu, any reflections on these stories, and then we get into your newspaper.
No, why should I know everything?
Ask him.
Am I a magician?
No, but you see, you are actually asking Ghanaians to vote for you.
But I shouldn't know everything.
You
shouldn't know everything.
No,
but this is a story. This is a story that was very.
Actually,
widely published all over because
it concerns traders, it concerns people's livelihood.
You see,
and the fire was there, the smoke was there for 4 days. People had to wear nose masks
and the building around collapsed.
Eventually,
I told you, I said I was at OT region, and I didn't know anything about. That's what I was asking.
That's fine. Let's get into your.
I don't need to know everything happening in Ghana.
You have to.
No, it's not. It's not.
Mr. Palu, do you think Ghanaians listening to you right now would really understand what you're saying, and
they should know that I'm not. No,
you didn't get any hint at all of this story.
You are just telling me.
All right.
You're just telling me because I don't need to know everything happening in Ghana.
The important things.
At the moment, I'm not president of Ghana, so I don't get any what do you call it? Reports whatsoever on a daily basis. So when I become president, they'll be putting everything on my desk, and I'll be able to know. So let me become president first. Ghanaian publisher. I'm not seeing anything serious here.
Give us the stories on the front page first, please.
Because I think we discussed all of them. The salt industry, and then also the galamsey.
But you can
the story. This says Jinapor. We need to know what's on the front page.
The front page. Okay. Publisher, the Ghanaian publisher. Salt industry has for major breakthrough. Imani applause electrochems investment. Okay. And then Jinapor summons ministers to emergency galamsey meeting. Okay, so I think the regional ministers are going to be, they're going to meet the regional ministers and okay. And Joe Wise rally support for Poku Eduse as successor.
Who is Poku Eduse?
I don't know who that Poku Eduse is.
It's not in your party, so don't worry.
Can we get into the story on Jinapor summoning the ministers? Just briefly.
And then Yana.
It's not in my party, so.
Yana also hails Nadmo boss.
Okay.
And then Bawumia will listen to you,
Samira.
Okay, so the story about Jinapor briefly, and then we go. We have just a couple of minutes.
I think if you look here, you have 3 pictures of the regional ministers. There is the Western regional minister, the Eastern regional minister, and Ashanti regional minister. I think that's where the galamsey is happening. Yeah. I think they should have brought in the Central regional minister because Central region too. There's so I think it's something that he said. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu Jinapor, has called an urgent meeting with all 16 regional ministers to address the devastating effects of illegal mining, known locally as galamsey. The meeting.
What do you think about it, the stakeholder meeting?
I think they should have. They shouldn't have invited the Volta regional minister because Volta region there's no galamsey there.
Yeah, but still, you don't know when it will start.
And I don't think there's anything in Accra here. Accra, do they do galamsey in Accra?
No,
okay, let me quickly run through the stories on other papers. And the custodian, Sidnet alerts government on bad Sisala roads. Bawumia files for presidency today. Joe Wise endorses successor Ralph Poku Eduse. And Kozie is my choice for Adentan, according to Bawumia. I like it when the women are leading the charge. Kozie wants to be member of parliament. If you think she deserves it, give her that nod. SNIT pension best retirement package in Ghana, according to the Director General, Mr. Kofi Bosompeng Osafumafo. And the Daily Searchlight, and I'll come to you in a bit for your reaction to that. Trouble brews at Labour Ministry. Yeah, I saw that story over the weekend. Ministers' alleged attempts to hijack new Labour Department offices spark war. Let me briefly get into the story because I think it's important. Where do I find it? Yeah, right here. So the Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Ignatius Bafwewa, is being accused of attempts to hijack the brand new offices of the Labour Department. The new offices, a 4-story building, was built for the Labour Department by the World Bank as part of the Ghana Jobs and Skills Project. And in the year 2020, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Finance, received financing from, let me skip to the part where it says this new office, now complete and ready for commissioning, that the minister is accused of trying to take over to move his ministry into. Yesterday, an official at the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations, Madam Charlotte Hansen, denied knowledge of any such development. So that is that. The Minister for Employment and Labour Relations is being accused of attempts to hijack the new offices that was built for the Labour Department.
It doesn't make sense.
Give me a wrap of your thoughts and then we
but it doesn't make sense. How is he hijacking?
He's denied. Someone from the ministry is denied the allegations, but
how is he hijacking it? Is he leaving his office to go and see it?
Maybe they want to use it as
they want to put their new offices.
Yeah. They want to use it at the ministry and give the old one to them. Maybe that. But where is the location? Because the Ministry of Labour Relations is within the ministry area. So we need to know where this one is. So that is the building. It looks nice anyway. Maybe they want to use it. Maybe it's well finished, everything. They want to use it for the ministry. Okay, that might be it. But that wouldn't be hijacking. That is swapping.
Exactly.
Mr. Palu, final thoughts?
Yeah. On this.
Anything you want to talk about?
Oh, okay. In fact, regards to...
There was something you read that...
The galamsey thing is something that we should take it serious. You know, my suggestion is that it's hard time we bring all those who are doing galamsey together and ask them to form a company so that they put their resources into that company and then they become a large-scale mining company so that they can compete with these foreign companies. You see, if you add the galamseys, I think they are over 1 million plus. If you ask them to bring, let's say $100, let's say $500, they will get $500 million, and then they can do a serious mining here in Ghana.
We should put a ban on mining totally, I'm telling you.
No, we can't.
We can't leave the minerals in the ground.
No, we can't leave it.
You know, it's also one. It's a cash cow.
It doesn't matter.
It's about management and proper regulations.
Yes, we need
to ban mining.
We can't ban mining, but we need to regulate it. Get these young people.
I'm curiously watching to see what the president will do because there's an urgent call on him.
It for maybe
the president, the call,
and look at every contract, look at everything, and reposition it properly, and come back to like what he's talking. If that is what will happen, then we sit down and have a proper.
If you ask this giant multinationals,
thank you so much for joining us. Nana Yapim Jantua is the former general secretary of the CPP, and Mr. Kofi Apalu is the leader.
Yeah, so we shouldn't agree.
And presidential candidate hopeful of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us for the news review segment. Sports is coming up next. You want to stay for that.